Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about moving abroad. Where do you start? I've had many people ask that question. They are really excited or enthusiastic or curious about moving abroad, traveling abroad long term, or just, being in another country indefinitely. And the question I get usually at the top, if they haven't traveled a lot, is I don't know where to start. They are typically kind of like in a haze. It's overwhelming, and I totally understand that. So today I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about how you can get started, some of the top layer things that you should think about, and how I can help you. My name is Michelle, and I am an expat mentor and a counselor for traveling and living abroad. I help people who want to be an expat. I help them to claim that title. And I just always try to encourage and let people know, like, this is for you too. Don't think that, we signed up for some special thing and, we got lucky. I think it just takes a lot of thought. It takes some research, it takes help from myself, and I enjoy sitting down and talking to anyone that's curious about living in another country and helping them create that blueprint to get there. A lot of times what people will kind of like focus on is, other people's journey, and, they'll just kind of look at that and say, well, okay, they got there, they already knew someone there, or I can't do this, or it's too hard, or I don't know what to do, etc., etc., etc. We can make a million excuses, all right? So my jump in on that is everyone's journey is different. What works for someone might not work for you. Overall, we landed in another place, but the journey to get there is different for everyone. The images that we have in our mind can be completely different for everyone. So I like to work with people, and I have worked with many folks to help them get through their own journey on how they want to move and where they would like to move. And the execution of that, as I said, can be very different for everyone. But one of the things I recommend is definitely sitting down and putting a lot of thought into places that you think would be appealing to you, and then putting the research in. Finally, in the end, you can execute it. So when I planned on moving back in probably 2016, 2017. I remember in 2016, my husband and I, we had a lot of conversations about moving abroad, downsizing our life so that we could retire a little bit earlier or just slow down in general. And, we had no idea where we wanted to be. I've traveled in and out of Mexico for 15 plus years. But at that time, Mexico was not on my list. So what we did was we started just researching. I started to research a lot. He was kind of doing his thing, telling me what he enjoyed and what he liked, and I listened to all of that. He had never been to Mexico, so I kind of left Mexico out of the equation initially. I really wasn't pushing for it because we didn't have a plan. So in saying all of that, I sat down and I put a lot of time into looking into countries that were on our, say, top 3 or 4 in terms of the 4 places that we really think we want to be. And funny enough, only one of those countries we had actually visited, and that was Italy. We thought we wanted to go to Costa Rica. We thought we wanted to go to Panama. He definitely was not interested in moving to Mexico, even though he had never been here. In my experiences in Mexico, they were all positive. As I said, they were ongoing over the last 15 plus years. So for me, I had a different viewpoint. And then what I did was I just kind of kept feeding him information about different places. We nixed Italy right off the bat because it was expensive. It didn't make sense for us to move from the US, move our US dollars to where they have euros, because the euro is usually valued higher than US dollars. So right off the top, we would be losing, you know, a percentage of our money. So we decided that that was not the place. We can go and visit in the future, but we're definitely not going to move there. And then we started thinking about Costa Rica. And I don't know where Costa Rica came from, because I'd never been to Costa Rica. But once I started digging into Costa Rica, I looked at houses and, you know, real estate. I looked at schools, things like this. And it just felt small, you know, for me. I just kind of was like, it's a little small, you know, it's kind of tucked between two countries. It didn't have enough geographical diversity for me. So we digged a little deeper. So in this process of researching, we were able to eliminate things. So my sharing this with you is, you know, don't just take what other people say, other people's experiences. I think it's really important to talk to someone who can help you through this process, but also to take the whole picture into your head and think about things that you like, what you think you will like, and then of course get advice from other people. But I think it's a process of really thinking through, what kind of scenery do I want? What am I looking for? Do I want to be at the beach? Do I want to be in a big city? Do I want to be you know, in a smaller city or a smaller town? Do I want it to be bustling? Do I want it to feel familiar, meaning, you know, see stores and shops and things that I'm used to getting in the US, amenities, et cetera, et cetera. So I think there's that process of really kicking back and, you know, writing it out somewhat on paper and looking at different places, and then eliminating things that are just not going to work for you. So this is where I can help you, because I sit with people who really and truly don't know where to start. And I always say the first thing you have to do, if you haven't done this already, is get your passport. I know people just kind of think, oh, I'll get it whenever, whatever. I think it's always good to have it on hand, because you just never know. Like when we made our research trip here, it really wasn't planned, but we started the ball rolling and the process rolling maybe 1.5 years before we decided to make this research trip. Obviously, we had our passports, but my point is you never know when an opportunity might come up for you to go in and see your place. And for us, we did not plan on coming here. We were supposed to take a trip to Cuba, and you know, at that time we weren't able to do it, so we canceled everything. And then I literally was just like, okay, we've been doing all this research about moving away, etc. Let's check out San Miguel, because San Miguel was kind of our wound down choice. We looked at several places and cities, and we decided, okay, we'll go to San Miguel, or we'll come to San Miguel because I'm in San Miguel de Allende. We'll come here, we'll go to Mexico City, maybe we'll make a pit stop in Merida, because I kept hearing a lot of things about Merida, which is also a really cool place and city. And I heard things about Guadalajara and Guanajuato. And when it was all said and done, you know, the fact that for 1.5 to 2 years we were planning to do something, we started the ball rolling. We opened the doors to the universe for us to really step into the next chapters of this move. So it's never too soon to start. And I think that if it's in your mind and you say, oh, okay, you know what, I want to move in a year or 2 or 3 from now, I have time. It's never too soon to start planning it. So I always say to people, you know what, if you're at a loss, you know, book a session, give me an hour of your time, and I will help you map it out so that you're not spinning your wheels. You don't know where to go. You don't know who to speak to or what you should look at. Mexico's a huge country. It has 32 states. And, you know, there's a lot of options here. So I kind of focus on this country because I live here. I can help you with other countries in terms of, you know, where you might want to move to somewhere else in the world, because I've traveled a lot over the last almost 25 years of my life. I've been to about 33 countries and gosh, I don't know how many cities, but you know, I've had the, you know, pleasure of, I should say I'm grateful that I've been able to do this and to see a lot and experience a lot of things. So moving here wasn't so like scary for me, but at the same time, I still had a little bit of anxiety. And the reason I had that was I had my husband and I had my son, I had my dog, and you know, I was kind of like concerned about them not being happy here. But in all of the digging and, you know, just looking into and trying to connect with folks and you name it, you know, it wasn't easy because a couple years ago, you know, there weren't as many resources, especially for Afro-Americans on YouTube or Facebook. I just kind of thought like, okay, I'm gonna look at these old YouTube videos and, you know, I'll figure it out. And like I said, fortunate for us, we were able to come for a trip. I actually returned 2 months later and I interviewed schools. So, you know, there's that aspect. If you have children, I can help you with that. So in saying all of this, it's that I have a lot of experience. I would love to share it with you, make your life easier. I think that you should stop dreaming about doing it and just get started. If you don't start somewhere, you're just never gonna get anywhere. You're gonna keep looking at other people's pictures and you're gonna keep looking at their lives and all the cool stuff that they post and blah, blah, blah. And you know, all these videos of people like moving and living abroad or traveling abroad, and you're just gonna keep living vicariously through them. And I suggest that you make a call, book it with me, and let's talk about where you wanna be and let me help you map it out, okay? I'm here to inspire. I'm here to share my experiences with you. I have a lot of experience in getting here, a lot of experience in how do I get there, what do I do, and yes, it's scary, and yes, it can create anxiety for you, but in the end, you know what? We are going to be just fine. You will be just fine. We are all extremely happy to be here. My husband is out right now. He has literally been out chilling with one of his friends for like the last 4 or 5 hours. I don't even know how long. My son's in his room chilling with his friends for like the last 2 or 3 hours, you know, playing some games, watching movies, whatever. We live in a great development. It's super safe. I absolutely love this city. I absolutely love the culture of the people in Mexico. And I love that there's so much for me to see and learn about. And I'm still not that far away from my family. So like, let me help you through this process, you know? So I suggest going to afroexpats.com, book your session. And at the very least, when you land on my landing and my homepage, you can sign up, subscribe to my emails, and you will get a free Move Abroad checklist. At the very least, take a look at it. It gives you what to do starting 1 year out, all the way down to 1 week before making that move. My suggestion is if you want to do this, it's doable. You can do this in a year, literally. I mean, I know people are worried and concerned about jobs. I can discuss that with you as well. You know, we'll talk about different things, different talents, or, you know, things that you may have that you may not see, or I can point you in the direction of people who can coach you on how to make money with your skill sets and not be trapped in the mindset of, I have to have a job. So my suggestion is don't wait. As soon as you get off of here, click on afroexpats.com, afroexpats.com, and subscribe to get your free Move Abroad checklist. It can, at the very least, inspire you. Put it in your bedroom, put it on your dresser, and take a look at it, flip through it, see what you have to do, what you need to start thinking about. Make sure you get your passport, get your paperwork in order, and, you know, start your journey, book a session with me, and we can talk about your personal journey. Everyone's journey is different, and I really believe and subscribe to, you know what, follow your dreams, just make them happen. Put yourself out there on the line and connect with people that are like-minded, like myself, and they can all help bring you to this desired place that you would like to be. All right, so don't forget afroexpats.com, book your session, sign up for your free Move Abroad checklist, and just do it. All right, I'll see you soon on Zoom.